Okay, we're getting ready to cut these exhaust spigots here, so I'm trying to jig up some referencing to what I'm doing around here. Here's a stack of PanHeads over here waiting to get the exhaust spigots cut. So we've got everything else all done on these up to this point. So pretty much we got these spark plug holes and exhaust ports here is what we're up to. So this head here I just mocked up here to see what it looks like. This here's a head I did here a few years ago for one of my bikes. This is what they look like when we get them all done. The problem is when you got to put pipes on these bikes after you do all this, the pipes never fit. So I don't know if it's the pipes are made wrong or it's me, how I machined them. So what we're doing right now is I'm rechecking all my setup to see what my angles are. So this particular head is a 65 head right here. Has a pretty nice looking exhaust port on it. And I got my tool here I made years ago for doing this, but basically just goes on the outside. It catches on the register down in here, which is the original machined register. And it goes up on there and you put a level on here and you can indicate it and figure out what it is. So as you can tell, this one kind of rocks. This way here it's solid, this way here it rocks. You look at the mark it leaves in there and you can see how it's a high spot through here, low spot here, and then over here on the other side the high spot again. And of course they're back low on this side because that's the part that didn't fit. So this head here, even though it has a pretty nice looking exhaust spigot on it, is worthless for what I'm trying to do because I can't check anything. So these are the rear heads we're doing right now, and I don't have very many rear heads to choose from. I only got 3 heads that are even remotely decent exhaust spigots on them. Front heads, I got a whole pile of them. There's one there, there's 4 of them up here. These all have very, very nice original exhaust spigots on them. So these are all various years. Got 64, 60. Here's another 6 side oiler, early one. So this is 63 to 5, and this one here looks like about late 50s head here. And we got another one on the floor down there, which is Mara tag is a 59. So that's another good one there too. This head over here is the other 65 head, which is a reject. It's not that good. Kind of the same problem we got on this one. Looks good, not very flat, so can't use it for referencing. So we pretty much got these ones right here to reference from. So even though these look like they're kind of chewed up, which they are, I don't really care about that part. What I care about is just register right along in here where my tool goes on there. And this one here, as you can tell, you don't hear any noise. It sits flat. I've gone there and done like this and knocked off the high spots. I haven't resanded mine. This is within half a thou all the way around when you measure with the dial indicator or dial calipers. So it's straight through. So you can see the high spots right here where it's hitting. Pretty much all the way around here. It's a low spot where the pipe dug in. Everything else looks pretty good. So this one here is actually a pretty good reference for the exhaust spigot. Then you got to look at the head gasket surface. It's a little bit uneven. It's got a crack in it, so it's probably got some warpage in it. This happens to be a 60 head. So it's an okay candidate, but it ain't the best in the world. Then we go to this one here. This is a 55 casting. And you can see how the exhaust spigot is going off the side like this. That's the same deal. The actual nipple here fits really nice and flat. So you can see how it's hitting here on the inside edge. There, over here on the outside, over here. And around here. Now this spigot here doesn't look like it's really machined really good, but it is sitting pretty flat on it. So at one time it was machined pretty good. Now this head gasket surface here is a little bit beat up, but it feels relatively flat, and the head's not cracked, so it might be a bit better candidate. This one over here is a 48 casting, and you can see the mark in there where this one was hitting. This one doesn't look machined at all, but it's fairly flat if you look at all the spots it hits on. It only has a little bit of rock on it. Overall it's pretty flat. See right there, I get just a little bit. And this one here, the surface looks pretty flat and no cracks again, so this might be a good candidate to try. So what I'm going to really do, I'm going to put all of these heads up that I got. I'm going to put every damn one of them in the jigging over here and check every one of them and try to come up with an average of what I think is going to be the closest we can get to stock Harley. And that could be within a degree or it could be within 5 degrees, we don't know. So I'm going to check every one of these heads and see what we got. So we got 4 heads here to choose for on the rear. And then for the front heads, we have 5 good ones right here. And we got a couple more laying around here if I want to check them. But 4 good ones ought to be a good reference point. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to check all that out. And we'll be using my digital level here to square everything up. So this is a very accurate level. It goes out double decimal points. Most levels only go out 1 digit. This goes out 2. So it's a very accurate level. And see my mill's within 1. The problem is every time you touch it, it changes a little bit. It's not accurate these things are. They are as accurate as they want to be. So how's my mill this way? 0 to 3, there's 2, there's 3, it fluctuates. So I'll go ahead and level my mill out first. I got adjustment screws down here on it to jack it around, so I haven't done it in a while. Probably in the last year is probably the last time I checked it. So I'll level that out, get this as close as I can here, then we'll come up here, put our nipple up in here like this, and I'll go ahead and put this up in there and see what we got. See, so right now, well, this is at my old angle that I was using before, and you can see we're pretty close with this one, even though it's rocking all over the place. Now this one here, I moved it down quite a bit because I had it jacked way up here. So what I do is I hold it with these 2 bolts, and I have a shim that goes underneath under here. And I use all these different washers here, different thicknesses, and I come up with a dimension to use, and I'll slip that underneath here, and that'll give me a dimension of what to put this at, and it rocks it this way. So with this setup here, this is at 90 degrees. This is at 90 degrees this way, which holds the head perpendicular off of the surface, gives us our 1 angle. And then we go ahead and rock it back and forth this way, which will give us our other angle. And between those 2, we can get this thing dead straight. And then I'll write down the numbers, and that's what I'll use for my new dimensions. So right now, my dimensions are all this chicken scratch over here. So these are the numbers I had before. So I'll have to make up a new list and figure it out. So anyway, that's where we're at for now. So I'll show you a couple things as I get further along, but got a few hours of playing around here.